If you ever see a place that looks familiar, but you've never been there before, do not go closer, because some places don't exist in the world. They exist in you, and sometimes they leak out. It started with a satellite image. Nothing unusual at first, just a routine scan over a remote stretch of land. But when the analysts zoomed in, they noticed something impossible. A mountain, perfectly centered, perfectly shaped, like it had been placed there. The problem? That area had been flat for decades. No tectonic activity, no geological records, nothing. And yet there it was. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was what surrounded it. Paths. Thin, winding trails leading toward the mountain. Dozens of them, all coming from different directions, all stopping at the same point, as if people had walked there, from everywhere, and never walked back. At first, they assumed it was an imaging glitch, until they checked older scans. The mountain wasn't there before, but the paths, they were. Faint, almost invisible, like something had been drawing them, long before the destination existed. And then someone noticed something that made the entire room go silent. The paths matched human brain patterns. Exactly. Like neural pathways. Which meant one thing. That mountain wasn't on Earth. It was forming inside people's minds. They called it a coincidence. They had to, because the alternative didn't make sense. Until the reports started coming in. People across different countries describing the same dream. Not similar. The same. A mountain under a dark sky. Wind that didn't sound like wind. And a feeling that they had been there before. At first, it was dismissed as mass suggestion. A viral idea spreading subconsciously. But then came the recordings. Sleep trackers. Audio logs. People talking in their sleep. Whispering coordinates. The same coordinates. Leading directly to where the mountain had appeared. That's when they sent someone. A field observer.
No emotional attachment.
No prior exposure to the reports. They briefed him carefully. Didn't show him the image. Didn't mention the dreams. Just gave him the location. Routine survey, they said. His name was Daniel. And the moment he arrived, he stopped walking. For almost a full minute. Just stood there, staring. Then he said something that wasn't in the script. Something no one had told him. I know this place. That was the moment everything changed, because Daniel had never seen the image, never heard the stories, and yet, he started walking, like he already knew the way.
No hesitation, no confusión, straight toward the mountain.
Following a path that wasn't visible on the ground, but was perfectly clear, in his mind. Daniel's body cam recorded everything. At first, it looked normal, just a man walking across empty land. But the longer you watched, the less normal it felt, because Daniel wasn't reacting to the environment. He was reacting to something else, turning corners where there were none, stepping over obstacles that didn't exist, and, occasionally, stopping to let something pass. Go ahead, he whispered once. But there was nothing there, nothing visible, at least. Then the wind started, except it didn't affect anything around him. The grass didn't move. The dust didn't shift. Only Daniel reacted, like the wind was happening. Inside him, his breathing changed. His posture shifted. And then he said it. They're walking with me. That was when the audio picked up something new. Footsteps. Multiple. Out of sync. Not echoes. Not artifacts. Footsteps that didn't belong to him. And they were getting closer. But here's the part that broke the analysts. The thermal camera. It showed shapes, human-shaped, surrounding Daniel, moving alongside him. Dozens of them, all heading in the same direction, all silent, all invisible to the naked eye, except for one detail. None of them had faces, just smooth, empty space where faces should be. And every single one of them was looking at him, not where they were going, not the mountain. Daniel, like he was the only thing there that didn't belong. Halfway to the mountain, Daniel stopped recording manually, but the camera kept running, and what happened next was never supposed to be seen. Daniel started talking, not to the team, not to himself, to something in front of him. You shouldn't have let me remember, he said. Remember. That word again, just like the others.
Then his tone changed.
Not scared, not confused.
Certain.
You're not real. Silence. Then, no, you're not. The wind stopped. Everything stopped. Even the invisible footsteps. And for the first time, Daniel looked directly at the camera. But something was wrong. His eyes weren't focusing on the lens. They were focusing behind it, like he could see whoever was watching. Why are you looking at me like that? He asked. That question wasn't for the team. Because they hadn't said anything. It was for us. For the ones watching later. Then, Daniel smiled. Slowly. Unnaturally. I see you too. At that exact moment, every single thermal figure turned. All at once. Away from Daniel. Toward the camera. Toward us. And then the feed glitched. But not randomly. It glitched in a pattern. A pattern that, when decoded, wasn't noise. It was a message. 3 words. Repeated over and over. You brought it. They tried to shut it down. Classify everything. Bury the footage. But it was already too late. Because people who watched the recording started reporting something new. Not dreams. Memories. Of walking toward the mountain. Of being surrounded. Of not being alone. Even though they had never been there. At least, not physically. And then came the worst part. People started disappearing. Not randomly. Not violently. Quietly. Like they had somewhere to go. No signs of struggle. No last messages. Just gone. Until one case changed everything. A woman was found. Standing in her room. Alive. But unresponsive. Her eyes open. Breathing steady. But completely still. Doctors said she was in a deep neurological state. But brain scans told a different story. Her brain was active. Extremely active. Like it was processing something massive. And when they mapped the activity, it formed a shape. Perfectly. A mountain. Inside her mind. Growing. Expanding. Detailed down to every ridge and path. And standing at the center were figures. Dozens of them. Waiting. Facing outward. As if expecting something. Or someone. And at the base of the mountain, there was one figure. Still moving. Still climbing. And the scans confirmed it. That figure was Daniel. Still walking. Still going up. Even though his body had been missing for weeks. The final transmission didn't come from Daniel. It came from the system itself. An automated alert. Triggered by abnormal pattern recognition. The mountain was no longer stable. It was changing. Not in the real world. In the minds connected to it. The paths were multiplying. Extending. Reaching new people. Faster than before. And then, a new path appeared. One that hadn't existed before. Short. Direct. Leading straight to the summit. And, for the first time, something came down. Not physically, but cognitively. People began reporting the same experience. Not walking toward the mountain, but something walking toward them. Inside their thoughts. Getting closer. Every day. Every hour. Until one person managed to describe it before losing the ability to speak. It's not trying to take us there, he said. It's trying to come here. That's when they reviewed the original footage again. Frame by frame. Slowing it down to the smallest detail. And they saw it. Something no one noticed before. Behind Daniel, among the faceless figures, there was one that had a face. Blurry. Distorted. But visible. And when they enhanced it, the room went silent. Because the face wasn't Daniel's. Wasn't anyone in the footage. It was different for every viewer. Everyone who watched it saw a different face. Their own. By the time they understood what was happening, it was already too late. Because the mountain was never a place. It was a process. A way in. It didn't exist in the world. It existed through perception. Through awareness. Through you. Every person who saw it didn't observe it. They contributed to it. Built it. Strengthened it. And now, it was complete. Because the summit wasn't the top. It was the exit. The moment something crosses over. And Daniel, he was never climbing alone. He was leading it. Guiding it.
step by step.
From inside, toward us. The final report was simple.
No explanation.
No solution.
Just a warning.
If you start recognizing a place you've never been, if you feel like you've already walked a path you can't see, if something in your mind begins to feel
Familiar.
don't follow it. Don't think about it. Don't remember it. Because the moment you do, you're not imagining the mountain. The mountain is imagining you. And when it's done, you won't go to it. It will arrive right where you are. And when it does, you won't disappear. You'll remain standing still, eyes open, while something else starts walking